quarter of a mile, keep left to continue on Fags Road. Keep left to continue on Fags Road.
To get rid of the monarchy, or should we stick with them? Do the money the taxpayers' money that's spent on them far outweigh?
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Great South West Road, A30.
Or has Andrew so disgraced them by cavorting with a convicted sex trafficker that the time has come to move on as we pass the Queen's Platinum Jubilee? I'd love to take your calls on 0345 6060 973 and your text messages on 84850 and your tweets. I'm here. Why in 2022 do we need a monarch? It costs the country money, as tourists will still come to the country regardless of the head of state. It's unbelievable that people should feel subservient to one particular family. But another one here, all the Crown Estate income goes to the government, as you know. Her sovereign grant is a small amount back, and I don't begrudge it with all that they do. I'm really pleased Prince Andrew has lost his titles, though. Absolutely the right thing. I'm far more upset with the billions that the Tories have wasted on track and trace, PPE contracts to their mates, etc. And that's Catherine.
Take the second left onto Great South West Road, A30.
345 6060 973. Joan in Maidstone. Joan.
Hello, David.
Hi, Joan.
The tragedy of the monarchy is it serves neither. I mean, it feels as if the subjects are in prison and also the monarchy is in prison. They're wanting this thing called freedom to be a normal family, but the public are like a rapacious beast. They're wanting to have every single little detail of their lives.
Continue on Great South West Road for 3/4 of a mile.
Virtual reality show.
Yes, before virtual reality.
I can remember the old Queen when she was picking through the words of the statement. She said, "Now we can look the people in the face." George, that Albert before was terrific because he brought education to the masses. There's the Victorian Albert Museum and things like that. He understood the role. But now we have people sleeping, dying on the streets, and I've written to both, to Prince Charles and everything else, saying to them, how can they know what's going on and not help people like that? They're dying, and all that stuff.
In a quarter of a mile, take the exit towards Heathrow Airport.
The public is obscene. They're worshipping them practically. They want to know what colour coat somebody's put on a bit of weight.
Take the exit towards Heathrow Airport.
I mean, Joan, can I ask you, it feels terribly rude to ask a woman her age, but can I ask you how old you are?
In a quarter of a mile, keep left at the fork to continue towards Southern Perimeter Road.
You've seen it. You've seen it.
Keep left at the fork.
Yeah, so if I was the Queen, I think my poor subjects, they die and treat somebody not well. It's like Buckingham Palace. When they had this thing, thanks to the charities and that, and they last did do, what happened? They didn't entertain them inside. I think it was Andrew who organised them all sitting outside, these poor charity people.
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit and stay on Southern Perimeter Road.
I mean, Joan, You said the word there, we are subjects, not citizens, because we have a monarchy. Do you think that should change?
I think that the whole caboodle should change. I really do, and I think right from the top down, because we're not free. We're really not free. I mean, they've got acres of ground just for shooting. And we have people, you know, who haven't got a little bit of ground. We have all these dukes and earls and heaven knows what.
Joan, while you've been on air, Chris says Joan is a legend, God bless her. Nyla says she makes great common sense, God bless her. Joan, I think you're going down in...
Exit the roundabout onto Southern Perimeter Road.
Call me again, Joan.
Continue on Southern Perimeter Road for 1.5 miles.
I don't know how you feel about it, but that telegram when you get to 100. More of your calls coming up on 0345 6060 973. The Queen has stripped Prince Andrew of all his military titles and royal patronages. Is this the beginning of the end for the royal family? Is it time to have a slimmed down royal family, or is it time for it to go? Call me on 0345 6060 973. Listen to David Lambie, and the time now is 6:31, and it's time for the news with Simon Morgan.
The Conservative peer Lord Moylan is calling on Tory MPs to get behind their leader in the wake of reports of parties at Downing Street during lockdown. A number of Tory MPs have joined Labour in calling for the PM to resign. Prince Andrew's lawyers want to interview Virginia Giuffre's husband and her psychologist about her sexual abuse claims. Earlier this week, a judge threw out a motion by the Duke's legal team to dismiss the civil case, warning it can go to trial. Prince Andrew strongly denies the claims. And an undersea volcano has erupted near the Pacific nation of Tonga, sending large waves crashing across the shore. A tsunami advisory was in place for Hawaii and the US Pacific coast. The weather this evening and tonight: scattered showers in Scotland, spreading into northern England, dry elsewhere with lows of 1 degree. Sunny spells for Scotland on Sunday, blustery conditions in the north with rain spreading southwards, elsewhere cloudy and breezy, and a daytime high of 10 degrees.
This is LBC.
Experience the untouched Caribbean island of Tobago. Go for a hike and be awed by majestic waterfalls.
The closest you could get to paradise.
Hike all the way up to Argyle Falls. That felt magical.
Or ride the ocean in style in a glass-bottom boat. Book something to look forward to in the British Airways sale. Flights plus 7 nights hotel from $549 per person. Book by January 25th at ba.com/Tobago. Fly British Airways. Book now and change later with flexible booking options. Terms and conditions apply. Sale ends January 25th. Limited availability. Selected holidays in September 2022. At all protected.
The salsa, the tango, the lambada. They call it the forbidden dance. Won't stop me. The dance floor is where I belong.
In a quarter of a mile, at Western Perimeter Road roundabout, take the first exit and stay on Southern Perimeter Road.
Superstars at Specsavers. I wish I'd done it years ago. Cause now I'm back. Shaking my...
Specsavers Advanced Hearing Aids. Music to your ears. Find out more online.
Hi there, small business owner. Your Tiny QuickBooks team here.
Self-assessment season is upon us. We make it so quick and easy. You might even enjoy it.
But seriously, let's get it all sorted before the 31st of January.
For available tax products,
Exit the roundabout onto Southern Perimeter Road. In 200 yards, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Airport Way, A3113. Exit the roundabout onto Airport Way. Continue on Airport Way for half a mile. quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the 4th exit onto the M25 slip road to M4, M40. Exit the roundabout onto the slip road. Continue for half a mile. In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M25.
It was a terrible time for my constituency, it was a terrible time for the country, but I'm not thinking now about the rioters, I'm thinking about the people who were burnt out of their homes and burnt out of their shops, who were left desolate. Can you imagine losing everything in a fire or looting? It was just so horrendous. And
continue on M25 for 1 mile.
Rung me up, wanted to be involved. I had politicians, I had Nick Clegg at the time, I had David Cameron, I had Ed Miliband, all of whom came to the constituency and showed their concern. I also had Prince Charles. He rung me up on the second day after the riots. He said, can I come up? I'd like to support you. I'd like to bring my charities with me and offer our support. And I said, yes, please come. I said, the only condition is, can you come again and again? Because one of the things that can happen after a riot is an area gets stigmatized and no one comes back. Prince Charles came 5 times. He brought his charities. They did tremendous work in the community. And we didn't become that stigma. We've moved on since the riots. That's my experience of the royal family. The politicians did come again.
No, and I think that's often forgotten. And I also think often without people knowing, because so many people write to the royal family, they do all kinds of things that are never publicised to help people. And I finally have to say, you know, I just think, and perhaps this a lot of people won't agree with me, but I love all the, I'm enchanted by Glovery, and I mean, I don't go and...
In a quarter of a mile, at junction 15, use the left lane to take the M4 exit to Reading, Slough. Use the left lane to exit at junction 15, then keep left at the fork. Keep left at the fork. Continue on M4 for 1.5 miles. In a quarter of a mile, keep right to stay on M4. Keep right to stay on M4. Continue on M4 for 4 miles. In 2 miles, at junction 6, take the A355 exit to Slough Central.
Big savings to be made. Quitting could put around £36 back in your pocket each week. And there's big health reasons too, like reducing your risk of lung disease, heart disease and cancer. Whatever your big reason for quitting, make this January your fresh start. For free NHS support to quit smoking, search Smoke Free. Better health. Let's do this.
Ransomware attacks are on the rise, and your business cannot afford to rely on yesterday's technology. BlackBerry Cybersecurity Solutions, powered by Silence AI, specialize in preventing ransomware, malware, and malicious attacks before they happen. Let BlackBerry show you how to prepare and respond to today's sophisticated and ever-evolving cyber attacks. To learn more, visit blackberry.com/protectme. That's blackberry.com/protectme.
Matt is hoping this shower will bring him back to life after an eventful night. You see, he's just bought an energy-efficient boiler from British Gas for just £35 a month, and it could save him £240 a year on his energy bills. So, the only thing Matt needs to worry about is...
This is my shower.
Search British Gas New Boiler. Conditions apply. British Gas New Heating Limited is a credit broker, not the lender, and uses a panel of lenders. Representative example. Cash price £1,666. No deposit. Total payable £2,098.20. APR 9.9%. New boiler saving compared to G-rated boiler.
Tesco Bank's new payment card, Club Card Pay Plus, gives you the power to make your money go further. You can pay, points wherever you shop. Whether that's the movies with the little monsters, a family meal out, or just the weekly shop. Plus, spend at Tesco and get double points for the first 3 months. Club Card Pay Plus provided by Tesco Bank. Apply online now. Every little helps. Minimum spend and exclusions apply when collecting points. Available to Tesco Club Card members aged 18 plus. UK residents only, subject to status.
Introducing the new McPlant. It's everything you love about the McDonald's taste, only this time it's vegan. With a juicy and succulent patty, co-created with Beyond Meat. A delicious vegan cheese alternative, vegan sandwich sauce, juicy tomato, onions, crisp lettuce, and of course, gherkins. Or not, the choice is always yours. It's our iconic taste, plant-based. For information about McPlant, visit mcdonalds.co.uk/McPlant. Served after 11 a.m, subject to availability.
Mums, Dads.
In a quarter of a mile, at junction 6, take the A355 exit to Slough Central.
The food scanner app. Just scan your favourite foods with your phone.
Then swipe to see loads of healthier choices for your next shop.
Magic.
Like sugary yogurts for healthier ones, or cake bars to yummy.
Exit at junction 6.
Download the free NHS Food Scanner app and find healthier swaps for your family. Just scan, swipe, swap. Better health. Let's do this.
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Tons Lane, A355.
Culture of serfdom is deeply ingrained within English society. I'm not surprised to hear callers happy to call themselves commoners and subjects. TASS says it is well documented that the royals cost less than a quarter of what they bring in. They've created thousands of jobs, paid tax, and helped endless charities. Show me one politician who has done more. Billions were wasted from Blair and Johnson's government. And Shovik says, I agree with Simon Jenkins. It's time for a slimmed down monarchy like in Scandinavian countries or the Netherlands. A parliamentary committee should oversee the royal expenses. Susan in Twickenham. Susan, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, hello David.
Hi.
Thank you, and many thanks to Joan, by the way.
Oh, Joan was
I'm
wonderful,
74 and I would love her to adopt me. She's brilliant. Question. I used to be a monarchist until Mrs. Thatcher came along, and then I thought, this is crazy. Who do we end up with? She could so easily become the president. Then, later, Boris Johnson came along, and I thought, for God's sake, where do we stand now? My question is, I know you're not a constitutional lawyer.
Exit the roundabout onto Tons Lane.
Protect us from the shenanigans that are going on now in Parliament.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left towards Sippenham Lane.
Whatsoever. The Queen does not seem to be able to stand in and say, no, I dissolve this entire Parliament. It's perfectly ridiculous, which I suspect quite a few of us would like to happen. But it's not going to be possible. So how does the monarchy protect us from this kind of corruption?
Yes, well look, I mean, I think the problem is we haven't got a written constitution. What we've got is a series of conventions, and here we sit in 2021, and
turn left towards Sippenham Lane.
Conventions are being challenged, and Boris Johnson is, where we promote.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
Or not, this challenges our constitution. Look, there have been decisions under previous governments about when we go to war. It's routine to take those decisions to Parliament, so there's a parliamentary decision that's made that commits our troops to war. If you do away with that convention, you seriously undermine the nature of our democracy. But until we have a written constitution, whether you want to write the Queen and the monarchy into that constitution or not, you're right to say that we do need a break on power in a parliamentary democracy, a break on a prime minister that can lose their way and start to behave like an autocrat. The nature of our democracy demands it.
So at the moment, the conclusion is there is no protection.
There's limited protection until you get to a general election, or indeed, or a political party in our system, losing confidence in that. And by the way, I've been in previous parliaments where it'd be routine to bring a vote of no confidence to Parliament, and then once the leader has lost that vote of no confidence, they resign. But again, they can stay around if they want to. So it all comes back to our sort of slightly higgledy-piggledy convention system.
They've lost the vote of no confidence often because of our electoral system, because we do not have a PR system.
Well, that's one view, but of course what we do get under first past the post, some would say, is strong government. Susan, I mean, you're in a way arguing for more power for the monarch.
I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Well, if you're saying that what's the break on our rogue-like politicians, or the implications of that, you might argue that the Queen should intervene in a slightly more serious way than she does.
Yes. Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted to hear you.
I didn't say she should. I said you could argue that she should. Susan, thank you for calling in. Harry in Merton. Harry.
Hi there, David. Thanks for taking my call.
Not at all.
I just wanted to bring up a quick point of principle that I think in this day and age we see politicians acting rogue and going, believing they're above the rest. And I think having a monarchy who are elected into that position, showing everyone that there are people in the country that hereditary, can do whatever they want. They can't do whatever they want, but due to the fact they're born into that power, it's just a very bad message to send to a modern democracy that's trying to strive for equality. And I just think when we see these politicians who, democratically got to that place and we have people above them, it's even a bigger head scratcher for me. I'm not commenting on any particular monarch and any particular behaviour. It's just, a point that I believe, that I feel. And when you've got people cutting universal credit by £20 a week, and we have people, because of, they are born into certain situations that are beyond their control, yet we've got a royal family earning so much money a year because of what they're born into. I think it's just a huge juxtaposition from the top and the bottom of society, which I believe is quite archaic and outdated, and you don't really need in this society right now.
So it's the hereditary principle that you think's obsolete.
Completely.
And do you buy the argument that what do you want to replace it with? Do you want to replace it with a president? You end up with President Trump?
I think obviously every system has its pros and cons, but I don't think in a society that's so progressive as ours, and I think we live in a great society, and so equal as ours, and we're not perfect, but we're striving towards being more progressive and more equal. I think having a head of state as the Queen isn't something that holds us back but not allows us to flourish, in my opinion.
Harry, thank you very much for calling in. Very grateful. Gareth in Swansea. Gareth.
Hello there, David.
Hi, Gareth. What's your view?
Pretty similar to the last caller. I think. We've been very lucky with monarchy with Queen Elizabeth. She's done the sterling job, and she's still been over her own reign. She's pretty much held the ship together. But I think the way that we choose our head of state is ridiculous, really. You could end up with anyone, really, could you? You've got no sort of control, no way of voting out. Once you've got your head of state, that would be it. If Andrew was born first, we'd be in a bit of a mess, wouldn't we?
Well, we'd certainly, that's true.
In 300 yards, turn left onto Buckingham Avenue.
He denies the allegations made against him, but it is the case that he has hung out with people who have now been found guilty in court of this.
Turn left onto Buckingham Avenue, then your destination will be on the left.
It would have been a disaster. First in line to the throne. It would have been a big trouble.
David, if you look historically, we've had bad monarchs, and there's been civil wars.